so don't be surprised if there is any update for a long time. Well, a long time has passed. A new update is finally arrived. After marking on the scale detail, it's time to fill those details. I did this to make the pattern progress seems a bit faster to me. Oh, for your information, this creature have two types of skills. Rounded one like what you are seeing now, and more sharp. Especially the smaller one, they tend to be sharp. Here's how I make it. Mark all surfaces the pattern will be in, then delete some mark in kind of hexagonal pattern, like so, emulating a scale pattern. If I use the old method, I tend to create the rounded one. Since I added some asymmetry on his scales in previous video, I decided to add some mark on his symmetric scales to prevent the asymmetric scales getting symmetric again. Then continue filling the symmetric scale first while checking my mark if it's truly symmetric or not. Then the asymmetric part. All of this process took me multiple days to do. Now the mesh is complete. Time to inflate them. Well, adding layers so it looks together. At first, I did just layer it with big size brush, but lower strength, and it led to very thick scales on the eye region. Of course, it could be fixed like what I am trying to do here, by smoothing it out. To save time, luckily I could just playing with the smoothing brush while pressing Ctrl. Luckily I could use backup and redoing it. This time with still low strength parts, but a smaller one. I also painted on smaller region one at a time, and periodically unmasking it, so I could see how thick it's already gotten, so the looks uniform is in thickness. Getting tired of masking and unmasking. Trying pushing that button. Hey, the mesh is not displayed. I could check it anytime now. Oh, the mesh isn't counted in this viewport. Then continue finishing the detail. Except detail on his body, especially that detail on his neck, the transitioning face from the crocodile sescock alligator scales to the sharp edges scales like that place, the one on his back, throat, of his neck. I did not modern that apparently here, cause it took so much time, and I do not want to do that, even though I'm planning to use stamps or brush textures. Cause the detail looks like that all the way to the base of his tail, while the tail section itself perhaps having cockroaches scatter detailing all the way to the tip. So yeah, continue on. Next is bone armature. Wait, again? Unfortunately, yes. So copying the old deformation bones, move it to the other collection, then rename it, then copying it again, and doing the same thing this time, making it IK and FK. I did this copying in one go to prevent the bone wandering off to different collection, like I mentioned before in the old video. Since the last video is published, I decided to just redo this bit again, but this time in one go. So no trying on him out. Just assume that the previous amateur is my amateur exploration. Hehe, get it? Okay, I will stop. I follow this tutorial series, the advanced one. It's helpful to me. Oh, apparently decided to tie it on him to find the correct joint placement with the simple animation of him walking. Oh, speaking of walking, I could not wait to animate him walking on the next video. He has three different ways of walking. It seems that our bones well having unsynchronized across the layers or collection. Gotta stick to the correct terminology. Then finding the correct joint placement for his tail. I think the reason my old model looks ugly because I put the base joint on the wrong place. It should be around his thigh. Also, the old one have a little amount of bones for the tail base. I finally did the AFK IK rig on his tail. I decided to simplify it, although it's a bit jumpy for me, but it works for now. Also, while you are not looking, I added hand crawl and palm sync to him. Yes, this is the reason why his hand looks too white from the beginning, so I could sync it with armature. I also wish to add chest IKFK. It's half done, but there is some issue. There isn't enough bone count, I think. And I added bones above each limb for the IKFK switch, and probably later added hip roll switch. I forgot the name. For now, it seems that I do not need it. Okay, time to duplicate the bone to the other side. But before that, I tried all of its joint, trying to fix everything, including individual fingers and toes. Paying attention to the bone roll. Last, add the eyes and symmetrize. Problems. After a bit of exploring, some of the bones are not symmetrized. To said bone do not have .l suffix, or it not get selected at the first place. For the weight painting with the new rig, luckily not much I needed to do, only need to fix his wing and hand shoulder. Also the tag belly weight. They are too big. I have a ascended different way now, forward and back, imitating sitting and flying position. I think I have gathered enough knowledge to do it more accurate, but also quickly. Finally, the face I promised to you in the last video, the UV unmapping and painting. But now, UV unmap first. I'm not using center line as seam mark. I hit this mark in between his osteoderm. It is fun to pick direction, but for the last merging tail, I use the center line. In fact, if there is an option for me to hide those seams in between his osteoderm, I usually take it. Now trying to unfold the mess and checking for weird shapes like that so I could add additional seams. Repeating it multiple times until it looks correct to me, except his nostrils. I do not know what happened, but it's a mess. His right nostrils, the left one is just fine. I have tried to cut it in million ways. Well, not really, dozens of times, but it still stretched like crazy like that. So I do not know what happened. I think I knew why people did this step early on, checking paste mesh. Now, did final check out of his UV mat. Oh, quick fixing later, and I'm final with his UV mapping. Just ignore that. Just take 'em and shrunk it. Now I use UDIM because I hoping that for rendering, when you lose and unload part of the texture to decrease must use memory usage. Does it do that? I do not know. It's just hopeful part on my end. Now we arrange those islands to fit on those UDIM tiles, making sure each island isn't causing UDIM border or overlapping on each other. Should I split this? Nah, I'm good. I still group them based on location, I guess. All head parts are on this side, all tail spot on this side, but eventually I just use where it is empty cause my placement is still inefficient. Oh, I also enlarged some island to create more detail later. Let's leave him mapping the islands on the map and jump to the last island. I have extra room for extra detail on his claws. I enlarged them of course and did the final inspection. Glance look if there is overlapping island or if I could tattoo them, yeah that's a word now, to get more efficient mapping. Okay, saving it with Alt Save. Yes, I have learned that lesson before. Now the UV is finished, the coloring. Loading in the test texture, then checking the texture application on the 3D body. It's gonna look little bit at much resolution. The coloring. First thing I created mesh for his underbelly and his back osteoderm, marking black wherever that color will appear, like his underside of his wing, palm of the hand, feet and wing. Then smoothing the transition with smear and sometimes blur. The purpose makes my laptop lag, so I use it sparingly. I saw that there is white lines nearing his seams, so I painted over the map to deal with it, but it keeps persist. When that was done coloring him with that yellow, I did the same thing to his osteoderm. In the beginning I want to pattern that dark gray to be radiating from his center, then gradually get lighter as it goes. But decided to change the pattern and eliminate the groove part, making it the same color as the main body. I also added shaders for his mouth, decreasing the roughness to make it look like wet. And all keratins, you know, the claws, leg, hand, and wings. I also added scales detail, but it left me with problems. When the part that isn't having scales pattern getting dark, too dark for me even. So I need to fix that somehow. Also, when I set the scale to FFFF white, fully white, it still looks gray to me. Even that looks like the correct gray to me. I finally solved it. What I need to do is to just add the mesh with the pattern, so the mesh part becomes white, hence prevent it to be darkened. Unlike color mix, which mark that part to be unpatterned, hence making it dark. I do not know how to explain it, but that's what I did. And that's it for now. I also tried animating, but that's for the future video. I also need to fix all of those things. Well, letter getters. Okay, first of all, I'm really thank you for you guys helping me with that with the view count. That's the most I have gotten so far. And secondly, listening to my own voice for editing this. Apparently my voice could go that low. Recording in the morning tend to make my voice lower. Uh, I do not know if there is video for the next week. No, not running out of idea, but I'm running out of project actually. Yeah, kind of running out of idea. No, not burnout. That's it, I guess. Bye.